Hello, this is week number 19 for fourth grade music for distance learning, and we're going to talk about something today that's very important in music, and that is there's a group of terms that are very important, and it's talking about the volume in music. And the big group of all of these terms, and we will be having a review. There'll be some worksheets on this, and there will be a review and a test on this. But this group of terms, when we talk about music, is called dynamics. And when you think of dynamics, there are the basic premise of dynamics. All of the words in this category of words for music terms are talking about volume, how loud and how soft something is. So when you're talking about volume, they refer to dynamics. Maybe you've taken piano lessons and you know that already. If they're saying the word tempo, that talks about how fast or how slow something's going to be. So we're going to spend the next couple of days talking about dynamics, or how loud and how soft a song is going to be. And when you are the composer of a song, I'm just trying to move this over a little bit more so you can have a little bit more room to work. When you're the composer of a song, you have lots of decisions to make. You have to decide how many beats are in each measure, the mood of the song, if it's going to go very high or very low, what instruments you're going to be using, how loud or how soft you're going to be using. You get to make all the rules because you're the person who wrote up the song and came up with the idea in your head. Now, if you've ever looked at a piece of music, and if you're going to be in band, and maybe next year, a lot of terms in music are actually written in the language of Italian. Because they, years ago, there have always been people that write music all over the world, but couple 100 years ago, 300, 400 years ago, people really didn't know because of communication. People didn't know what was happening in Africa. There were people in Africa that were composing songs. There were people in China that were composing songs. There were people that were up in Antarctica. If they were living up there, they were composing songs. But the center of the communication was called the Western world, and that was in Europe. And they decided to make some rules and to make communicate with each other so people are all on the same page, and they can share music with each other, and they're sharing the same terminology. And a lot of these terms are in Italian. And so when you look at music from now on, maybe you'll recognize some things that look a little bit different. And actually, when you've done your 12 symbol tests, and some of you have done your platinum tests from the 12 symbols, once you've completed the 12 symbols, there are some fancy words that are not English, but they're Italian. And the two that I want to show you that we're going to start with today, and there's also some abbreviations. Rather than writing these big fancy words out at each piece of music, they just learn to have different abbreviations, and sometimes it's just a letter of the alphabet, and you should know, and you know what that means. Kind of like our repeat sign. We know what a repeat sign means. It's 2 lines and 2 dots. That means you go back to the beginning. Instead of writing out repeat the song or go back to the beginning, they just have a symbol, and that shows you. So we are going to look at some today. I'm going to look, if you look at this is one of the symbols that were part of our 12 symbol club, and it's a little p, and it means soft. In English, it means soft, but the Italian word is piano. And don't think that every piano that you see is, there's really 2 definitions for the word piano. Piano means soft. So if you're looking at a piece of music and you see a P at the beginning of the song, that's the composer telling you that this song is supposed to be played soft or quiet, okay? This is soft, okay? The opposite of that, and we've learned that also, and these letters of the alphabet are always written in cursive. This is loud. It's also something that we've learned in our 12 symbol tests. When you take your 12 symbol test, the F always means loud. And the reason they've used an F here is because the Italian word, the official word that started before we used English words, was Italian. And that word is forte. Looks a little bit different, okay? Forte, okay? So they're kind of opposite. A P at the beginning of a song means you're supposed to play the song soft. And F at the beginning of the song means you're supposed to play it loud. Now, there are some different variations of that, and we're going to take a look at that today also. If I see a letter that is PP like this is very soft. If I see 2 P's next to each other, that means very soft. And the word is pianissimo. Okay, and I'm going to move these because these are going to get in our way. Pianissimo, because there's two P's, it doesn't just mean soft, it means very soft, okay? So two P's is pianissimo, that means very soft, okay? Same thing, two F's. What do you think that means? If one F means loud, then two F's is going to mean very loud. And that is fortissimo. And I'm going to have a sheet for you that will have all of this stuff on it because we'll have some little worksheets to work on this week, and that will help you remember. You can look at the little sheet to help remember these things because this is a lot to think about at the same time. Two F's means very soft. Two F's means very loud. Two P's means very soft. Okay. Then once in a while, if you see this, an MP. I'm going to make it small, and an MF, these mean medium soft, so it's going to be a little bit louder than a regular soft, and this is medium loud. The F tells you the loud, the M means medium, and the big fancy word for that is mezzo. So MP is mezzo piano, MF is mezzo or medium forte or loud, okay? Regular old P by itself is soft. A little bit louder than that is mezzo piano with an MP. Okay. Forte, remember, is loud. If you're going to have a little bit quieter than loud, then they call that mezzo forte. It's not quite as loud as forte. So if you notice, I'm going this direction. This starts very soft over here. This is going very quiet over here. This is going louder on that side. If you go farther over there, hang on. Okay, just like this, if once in a while you see this in something, and what do you think that means? Three P's, very, very soft, which is about as quiet as you can get, and they call that pianissimo. Pianissimo. That's as quiet as you can get. So again, three F's would tell you what? Very, very loud. Fortissimo. Okay, that means three F's is super, super loud. Okay, so if you're going this direction, you're getting louder. If you go this direction, you're getting quieter. And it all starts with our regular cursive P, means soft. Cursive F means lowercase cursive f means loud. And then if you go that direction, you're getting louder. If you go this direction, you're getting softer. Okay, that is the main part of our lesson for this week. And I want you to watch a little bit of a movie that will explain it also. There's a couple of other things I want to show you. If you see something like this, kind of like a sideways V in a piece of music, that means you're going to start soft over here, and you're going to gradually get louder, kind of like if you look at like the mouth of an alligator. Okay, if this is or a megaphone, like if you go to a football game and you see a cheerleader and they're yelling on one end saying, "Go Fight Win," or "Go Vikings," or "Skol Vikings," a cheerleader might be putting this up to their mouth, and they're using this as kind of like a speaker. It gets louder as you get closer to the end of the megaphone, just like at the end of like a tuba or a trombone. You see bells on instruments because that makes it a bit louder. Soft, gradually getting louder. Again, the Italian word is crescendo. Now, the opposite of that would be going this direction. You always look at music like you're starting on the left side, like you're reading a piece of paper, reading a story. This starts loud, and it's gradually getting tinier, softer. And this is the opposite, so it's D crescendo. Again, I'm going to write all of this out on a paper that you can print out and kind of practice with this. But I want to show you right now. This is a little movie that will tell you about crescendo and dynamics. All of these big fancy words in Italian and in English, they're all in the group called dynamics, of the volume of music.
Composers often include signs that control the volume at which the player executes a certain part of the music or the whole piece. These volume indications are called dynamics. Traditionally, we use Italian words handed down to us from centuries of classical composers based in Italy to show how loudly or softly to play a passage. The most basic dynamic indications include piano, meaning soft. Yes, this is the same word as the instrument. And part of the reason the piano got its name was that it could play loudly and softly, something most earlier keyboard instruments couldn't do. Piano dynamic indications are shown in most scores with an italicized, bold P. Forte means loud or strong. It comes from the same Latin root as the English word for force or forceful. It will be shown in scores with an italicized, bold F. For in-between dynamics, we can add an M for mezzo or middle before the F or P to indicate mezzo forte. Or mezzo piano. And you can even make a piano or forte more extreme by piling on the P's and F's. So two P's like this will indicate pianissimo or whispery soft. And if you want something very, very loud, you can write fortissimo or two F's.
So that's just a little tiny explanation of what we really just talked about before. If you look at this song down here, if you look at here, this is an example of a crescendo because it's that little sideways V. It starts tiny here and it's gradually get louder. But then in this particular song, then when you get this to this part, then they want you to start loud and gradually get softer. Sometimes it's spread out to the whole line, but in this case, it didn't take long. So this part was soft, this part got loud, and then it got soft again. So that's where they would put those sideways V's, and that kind of shows you. But if you remember, if you looked back there and you looked at the music, at the beginning of the song, that's where you might see your lowercase cursive P or your lowercase cursive F for forte. I'm going to send you some worksheets to do and to practice on this, and it'll take us a couple of weeks to get used to this, but there are English words that tell you how loud or how soft, dynamic words, and there are also matching Italian words that mean the same thing. And sometimes, again, if you take piano lessons, you might have seen some of these already. And so if you think, why does P mean soft? Well, now we know, because the original word started with a P in Italian. Why does loud start with an F? Because the loud was forte in Italian. And so that's why it looks a little bit different. And that's why these letters, you might wonder, why on earth are they using a P and an F and two Ps or three Ps or three Fs? Because the original terms, when they decided to write them down and to start sharing that with other people, was written in the Italian language. And we're going to learn that. So you're going to know some Italian words by the time we're done with this unit. So work on your worksheet and take a picture and send it in to me. See you next week. Bye.